This video letter is addressed to Governor Gavin Newsom of California from one of his constituents, John Weaver of Rosamond, California. One moment, please, for Governor. Apologize for that. This is in response to what's been happening over the past week in the city of Los Angeles. I can be a real blowhard when it comes time for talking up a storm, Governor, but I know your time is limited. I live in Rosamond, California. I've been out in this Antelope Valley for about 20 years, but I'm a native of LA. Born in '66 in Downey Community, and moved out to the San Fernando Valley in '68 and had to leave in '05 because rent got too high for my family. So I've been stuck out here ever since. Had a lot of misadventures. I have ties in this state, a lot of memories. And it hurts like hell every time I keep seeing my city, my county going through hell in a handbasket. What Trump did, we all keep thinking that this guy is a lunatic, and we both know he is a lunatic. He is the elected president, unfortunately, because of the Electoral College, and we assumed that we were going to be having a popular vote to keep him out of office. Unfortunately, we didn't. So now we're paying the price on this one. Every single one of us, not just in California, but everywhere else on this planet. That being said, the riot situation happening is the protests telling Trump that we don't want ICE doing what they're doing. We know we have state laws preventing us, preventing local law enforcement to assist with the arrests. They won't touch them. They'll try to protect them from the population who's pissed off that they're getting raided and pilfered and pillaged and plundered from, captured and tossed out of the country. Even our elected officials know this. Some of the people in my town of Rosamond are split. They're a Trump town. This is Trump territory. This used to be Kevin McCarthy's territory. The ass kisser. Not much of a politician to help out his constituents unless they're red. But he did help me out one time, so I had to owe him for that. But in dealing with our frustration and our rage over Trump's decisions of being a complete tyrannical asshole, can't hold the language back, and unfortunately, I'm sorry. I was trying to keep it a little bit more professional as much as possible, but I can't. I can't be that way. It is our constitutional right to demonstrate peacefully. I never did say that, and the Constitution did it. Put you on pause while I research for a second here. Apologies. According to constitution.congress.gov/browse, the section I am looking at is the Constitution annotated. And in it, they list about the articles, preamble, introductions, and the amendments. Now, according to the First Amendment, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Unfortunately, when we have that much anger and that much frustration, we throw out the word peacefully. And we just remember we have the right of the people to assemble, without the people being peaceful about it. I've seen my town throughout my lifetime. I'm 59 years old. I'm going to be 60 in January, Governor. And I've seen a lot. of what my town has gone through. How many times we've had situations happening that we had to be frustrated over and march in the streets and scream and shout our heads off. And these were things happening beyond our borders. Well, only one time that I'd seen in my lifetime that it directly affected our citizens is when we had 4 cops beating up on a black man on camera and acquitted through the civil, actually through the criminal of the state, but not the federal. But even what happened back in '92, yes, I saw it. How was that? Not fun. Not fun at all. Scared the crap out of me, Governor. And since then, every time we've kept having, since we've had riots happening, yeah, it worries more that the city of Los Angeles is a very passionate town. I'm surprised San Diego didn't go blowing up, and neither did San Francisco. Why did it have to be LA? I don't know. Maybe because we're that passionate people these days. Maybe because we have a lot of immigrants over here feeling that they're going to be under threat, and because this land is of immigrants. Did we not forget the history of California? Did we not forget the United States history in itself? Yeah, so what happens when you read a lot of books and go to college for several years. Not quite graduated, but getting there. I try to understand the causes for this, but I understand their passion and the heat. But since we knew that the president was going to be throwing in the troops, I think that's what added to the tension that we had. And this was setting up because ICE was doing what they're going to be doing with all the racism. And that would be my dog waking up. We knew that the president's lackeys, if I want to call them that, were pushing buttons left and right to ensure this riot would happen. It was not just to get to California, but it was to satisfy their own insane ideas. I think every one of them needed to be put in through a psychological evaluation. I'm sure Stephen Miller would be, I don't know, would he be demanding a padded room and a straitjacket just yet? I think he would, but, right now, probably not. He thinks he's too entitled. But we also have President Trump doing the same shit. He's following the same examples. He's been that screwed up ever since, I don't know, since the day he was born. And he was taught to be this way, Reverend. Sorry. I do confessionals a lot with people I know. I'm not a reverend, but I know a few. Anyway, getting back to it, and forgive me for going over this too much. Should keep this short. Yes, I do object for having the state being put through this indignity of pleading and demanding to his lordship to get rid of the damn troops because they started this crap in the first place. I have an issue over this. I hate seeing my state being torn apart left and right, and its people being confiscated just because of some burr up someone else's butt in the White House. He thinks we got invaded, and now we've got to have, California cleared for white being racist? And that's supposed to be okay? It's bad enough I live in a town that seems racial in its sense. We still have the tendencies in this town of Roseman and in the county of Kern. We're exactly forthcoming to a lot of people who are not white. I heard the stories about Alvin Zazzini actions. Not pretty. but they try to keep it under close. This would be a town that ICE would definitely love to get their hands on. They already did Mojave. Already scared the shit out of people up in Bakersfield. Why not out here in Roseman? The people in Roseman think that this is nuts. Some of them are actually fighting off and saying this is nuts, but the rest of them are not convinced. They still think that Trump's it. And we should arrest everybody who protests. They don't understand the Constitution or how it applies to anybody and everybody these days. And this is what scares the hell out of me, because our people's ignorance is going to bury us alive. We have no control. Basically, I have no control over the process except to keep airing my grievances left and right, because that's the only way I know how to get my words and my thoughts across. I have to. And for what the Constitution says, and I'm a constitutionalist. Due process, habeas corpus, First Amendment. Second Amendment, I'm really not a fan of. Peacefully assemble. We need to do and continue to do that. We need to shout out and scream it out without breaking and burning and pilfering and plundering like we've done. It scares the hell out of me what we're doing, Governor. I just wanted to get my own thoughts and views on this one. I think Trump's fucking nuts. This whole damn situation is insane. I don't know how the hell we're going to be able to weather until the next presidential election, let alone the midterms. We can only hope and pray. Governor Newsom. Thank you for dealing with a lunatic like I am.